All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom.
And I am Poop, formerly known as George. No one ever listens to the intro. They probably fast forward for the first 2 minutes.
That's true. Well,
So Tom, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Go ahead. Hit me.
Sold a lot today.
You did?
I only kept Bitfarms because I just could not bring to selling it yet.
It's still at 360. Did you sell your Hive?
Yeah, I did. Did it take off?
No. Well, what time did you sell it?
Because
it was up right away. So.
Oh yeah, I sold it at the end of the day. I didn't sell it till like 2:33. I figured I was down like $200. I'm like, you know what? You know it's going back down. These SOBs won't let it keep going higher.
Well, look at this thing. This pink line was the flash crash, and this has been resistance. And I mean, it hit this in the middle of the night at like 3 in the morning Eastern, and it's still just sitting right here. I mean, that was 12 hours ago.
I got one for you. Yesterday, I didn't get a notification that you went live. And then today, I don't have a notification that you're live.
I don't know what's the deal with these notifications. I never get any notifications from my own thing.
Oh, you don't?
No, it's
you
like
get no notifications?
Very rarely. And I know they don't. I know they don't send out notifications to everybody. I don't know what their policy is. I'm just not sure what the rule is here on this.
Right. I don't understand the rule either. So, tell me about the story of Bitcoin. Are you worried, scared, repressed jubilation? What is it?
I'm not worried and I'm not scared, and I'm going to zoom out. And I'll tell you what I think is the quick story, because this is starting to get very simple, I think.
It's getting simple.
Yes.
Please. I long to hear.
Just trying to fit the full...
So my friend, oh, he's probably watching. But anyways, I'm going to still talk about him. He went to a coaching, like how to deliver the same message when you're on screen versus off screen. He spent thousands and thousands of dollars. He goes, you have to be credible when you're on screen. You have to be credible when you're off of screen. And I'm just like,
I could have told him that for free.
I know, but I'm just me. You know what I mean? I'm sure there was more too.
Well, that's part of it. You got to be authentic. You got to be
I think that's his problem. I think if I had to put the nail on the head, I know he's genuine, but I don't know if he comes across authentic. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, some of his videos I watch, they're amazing. He's like spot on. But I think it's too good. You know what I mean? Here, it's not too good.
No, we're off the cuff a little bit. So
okay, so talk to me about Bitcoin.
And I want you to know, several people were saying they were missing George on my previous live stream.
Oh, okay, so good. I'm safe. I got a job, guys. I'm feeling good. I can retire. Oh, no, I can't retire.
And then one person, actually, I think if somebody in the Discord and on the live stream yesterday said, George is right, we're going to 29,000. So,
well,
I have no response to that.
I'm wondering if we don't hover around 29,000. Listen, we're going to 29,000. Yeah. I might be changing my model.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I might be changing my model. It really depends on who invented Bitcoin. Can anybody answer that question, please?
Well, no, nobody knows the answer to that question.
If somebody would answer that question, then I can give you an accurate read.
Well, that is not helpful.
I just need that answer. I know. I'm just letting you know. If somebody could answer that one little question, it's just a little question. So go on. I'm sorry.
You want me to make up an answer? I can.
Do people
hey,
still?
JJT, we're early enough for you this time. I hope. I bumped it up.
HAT. So, do you think that Putin invented Bitcoin?
I do not think that.
Do people still believe that?
I think there's a lot of theories out there. And
that could be the dumbest one ever.
Well,
a walking the dog. Orf, orf. Sorry.
That's not my theory. Oh, walking the dog, walking.
So what's your theory, Tom?
On who invented Bitcoin? I think we're never going to know the answer to who invented Bitcoin. I think a bunch of people were working on all this blockchain stuff, and somebody who we're never going to know who it is, who's rich beyond all belief. Although it seems like that wallet sits there untouched. So maybe they were already rich. I don't know.
But isn't there a lot of wallets that are untouched?
There's a lot of wallets that are untouched. There's one huge wallet that's untouched, but there's, who knows? It's a strange, there's no other example of like, this is massive innovation and we don't even know who did it.
I know, that's why.
There's no, you got to go back to the wheel. Like, there's just no documented history on who invented the wheel at this point.
How the market, did it close yet? Oh, it's getting ready to close. You should bring it up.
Let's do it.
Watch the bell.
All right, wait for it. Oh, you want me to go to like CNBC and watch the...
Yeah, watch it. Or even Yahoo, right? You should have these things set up, Tom.
This is not live, though.
Oh, rise up as oil price declined 10%, S&P up. What? Really? Is that what happened today?
Look at these results. I'm going to start with the NASDAQ, up 3.56%. Russell 2000, just under 3%, 2.96%. S&P 2.56. The Dow was up over 2%. So that is today was an insane. Here's what I feel like. I went to bed last night and everything was awful, and I woke up this morning and for some reason everything's fine. So somebody needs to let me know what happened while I was sleeping last night, because this is a total reversal. Oil's down like $20 from where it was yesterday.
Wow.
Let me look at oil. So I don't know if this is one of those one day. I got a suspicion we're being duped.
Oh, you think so?
Crude's down to it's $109, but that's better than it was. It hit 130. So that's down 11.5%. All the markets are up. Bitcoin, our friend Bitcoin, was up big today. So, it was good. It was good news. I think I'm going to check gold. I think silver and gold were down a little, which is bucking the recent trend. So, like, all the things that say the world is getting better and everything's okay is what happened in the market today. So, but nothing, to my knowledge, nothing actually happened. That's just what the market did today. And I think it's a massive, massive setup, because we're getting the CPI numbers tomorrow, and I think they are just setting us up today to knock us down.
Yeah, because, what are they anticipating the CPI numbers to come in at?
Just under 8.
And for those in, like me, what does CPI mean?
It's the Consumer Price Index. It's basically a measure of inflation, and they actually have so many different ways they measure it, but there's one, the one that they put out to the public, and they're expecting that, I think they're expecting that to be 7.8% or 7.9%. So,
and that's February. Can you imagine what March is going to be?
Well, yeah, exactly.
What? Are you kidding? Because, really, really hit the last week.
So here, I'm going to click into this. This happens to be February CPI preview. Consumer prices likely set a fresh 40-year high. So let's just see what they have to say.
We can do better, Tom.
We can.
That's going to be the statement every month. A 40-year high.
Yeah. Well, it has been. That's what's happening. Every month it's a new 40-year high. So the Bureau of Labor and Statistics is set to release its February Consumer Price Index Thursday at 8:30 a.m. So before the market opens tomorrow in the United States, they will put the CPI number out. I think it's 7.8. That's what they're expecting.
So it's going to come in at 7.5 or 7.6.
Here's
and
the
everybody's going to go nuts.
If it comes in, this has been the biggest overreaction month after month after month, because it's going to come in something like 7.8. You know, I guess maybe I could be shocked, but you know, if it comes in at 7.9 or 8, everybody's going to act like the sky is falling. So
that's why it's going to come in at 7.7 or 7.6. Dude, this is a setup. They do it every month. I was joking. I knew it was CPI meant, just so you guys know.
I know sometimes you just set me up with easy questions just in case people listening need to know the...
Just so you know.
Some softballs.
So if it comes in higher, then we're going to have a red day, you think? If it comes in lower?
If it comes in over 7.8, that's what's been happening. And, you know, a couple of times it came in, you know, 0.1 or 0.2% above what we expected. And it was like, you know, it's a knee-jerk reaction, and it's a very short-term thing. It's not like it changes the trajectory of the market. It's just, you know, you get punished for a day or 2 days. And we have so many things affecting the market that way. It's like a minefield. Instead of just being able to walk through the market on a daily basis and judge things on their fundamentals or technicals, you always got to be worried about, boom, the Fed said this, or boom, the CPI number comes out, the unemployment numbers come out, the revised unemployment numbers come out. Oh, the Fed comes out even though they weren't supposed to. They're going to have an emergency meeting. And then they don't do anything. So it feels like once or twice a week there's like an event you got to be aware of. And I am until this stops happening, the last 3 weeks, Thursday was bad and Friday was terrible. So that is a very short-term trend. But I feel like this Wednesday just set us up for the exact same scenario where they just lifted everything up on Wednesday and they're going to knock. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I did sell some options that I had, but I didn't sell any of my stock today. I doubled down on some options as Bitcoin fell down, and you know, this was a huge jump today. So I sold out of a lot of those at a profit, and I kept my stock. So if we get beat up tomorrow.
I feel good to see 50K again. Thanks for the comment. And he said something interesting.
What?
How is the 10K challenge?
Well, we will have to. I will tell you this. It had a good day today and yesterday.
Nice. Are you going to beat it this week?
Here's the thing. If you ask me at the end of the day every Wednesday,
well, then why didn't you sell today?
I'm not. That's not the point of the 10K challenge.
Okay,
then I'm a day trader.
I'm looking now. I'm looking.
Do you know where it got to in the middle? Because it went up and then it went down and then.
I don't care.
You can't tell people where it's at because we're doing our update on Saturday.
Hang on, they can tell by my face.
This was a good...
This has been rough.
I will tell you something. I'll give you a hint. Unless something changes, we're going to pass a lot of people on the list. We way outperformed the market this week. Of course, unless everything tanks tomorrow, and which is what's happened 3 weeks in a row now. So,
do you think... Well, I mean, this probably is the new pattern.
I know.
You know?
It's just it does that. We just don't know where it's going to end. It'll do that until it stops doing that. And that's where in the 10K challenge I did sell. I doubled down on some Bitfarms options, and then I sold the extra amount that I doubled down on because it was way up. So I took those profits and I left everything else pretty much alone.
I cannot believe oil came down.
Samuel, yes, today was a good day for the portfolio. Thank you for asking. Although George doesn't like it.
He asked a question. I wonder, would insiders really flood the market the day of the lockup expiration? Maybe. I doubt it. I don't know what that is. So what does that mean?
But I think he's talking about Core Scientific. They accelerated their expiration of their lockup period to tomorrow. So, and it was supposed to be like maybe 4 months from now. So it was a very strange move. I did a video on that. I'm sure it's been done before. I haven't seen anybody do that. I don't know what good could possibly come from that other than just getting it out. Maybe they just wanted to get it out of the way, because I will tell you, whenever a lockup period ends, whether it's tomorrow because it's accelerated or 4 months from now, there's always panic at the end of a lockup period. Oh, all these shares are coming onto the market. Everybody's gonna, and it's particularly scary, you know, when the board votes to end the lockup period 4 months early. Then you really feel like, man, everybody's just gonna bail. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I do think there's going to be a dip. Somebody asked me, I can't remember, somebody today here in the chat said, are you going to buy the dip tomorrow if there is one? And the answer to that is yes. So I did sell in my personal portfolio. I sold some Core Scientific options today that have been skyrocketing. And if there's a pullback, I'll buy them back again. So I don't know what's going to happen, but at least it'll be over tomorrow. I remember the one that really Fubo, which I've done a couple videos on, so some of you guys that follow the channel might know Fubo, or you might know it on your own.
Isn't it FOMO?
FOMO? Oh, no,
Sorry.
FOMO is something totally different. Yeah, there was FOMO in Fubo, and then there wasn't. It ran up to $60. And the lockup period came around, and, you know, over the course of like 2 weeks, it just spiraled down to like $20 under. And now it's like $7. So I'm getting ready to buy that in the 10K challenge. I have an option. I have a very tiny position that's an option, but I'm getting ready to buy the stock because Fubo at $7 is nonsense. It was at, you know, it probably didn't belong at $60 either, but my point of that story was when that lockup period ended, people pressed the panic button. They were selling. It was a mass exodus. And I don't think it was the pipe investors and that kind of stuff. I don't think I don't think everybody liquidated. I think it was the retail investors that just absolutely panicked. And that could happen tomorrow.
Yeah, one of these days.
You would think if they were smart, they would panic today and get out ahead of it if they're worried about it.
Yeah, I don't think people think that way. What's the number that Bitcoin has to break out?
On my chart, I'm going to go show you. It's about 45,700, but what I'm saying is we need a strong close on a daily candle above 46,000. If we can have that, then that is an absolute official breakout. It's just
Is that going to be a bull run again?
That would be extremely bullish. That is this purple line. So you can see this is January 5th. We went below this line. It's at about 45,747, but I'm saying 46,000. We need to close clearly above this line. So we went below it January 5th, and for the rest of 2022, we've been below this line. We touched it, we candle wicked and touched it here. We almost did here, and then we just did, a week ago here, but we just can't break. Every time we get to this line, bam, all the way back down to this line, which is our other. These two lines is what's happening this year. We're stuck at the top at 45,700, and we're stuck at the bottom at 37,400. And yes, we have dipped underneath that briefly, but basically, 90 to 95% of the trading has just been done in this very tight trading range. So that's why I say, in my daily update videos, I talk about whether I'm bullish or bearish, but it's always a very short-term opinion because, and I try to say this, until we break this line, all we're doing is going up and down. I mean, we were at the top, we were at the bottom, we were at the top, we were at the bottom, we're at the top. bottom. Now we're in the middle. So that's why I thought we would have a breakout from this line of resistance today, but it didn't happen. So, we might have stalled out right here for all I know, because we've been going sideways for 12 hours. So that can also be okay. Maybe we're getting a little consolidation right now, and we'll break through this line. And if we do break through this line, we're going to go test this line. The question is, are we going to fail again? And that has been the trend. Run it up to here, and then bam, run it back down to the bottom. So we've done that. You think
someone's getting rich doing this?
Well, there's no question in my mind about it. So that's how I'm playing, not my stocks. I buy and hold the stocks, but that's how I'm playing my options. Based on that, what I just as simple as that. Like if we break above this, then I'm bullish all the way up to here, because that's what's happening.
So so tomorrow you're thinking, what's your gut feeling about how it's going to look tomorrow?
I'm going to go way out on a limb and say the market is going to have a bad day tomorrow and Bitcoin is going to have a good day. Because I know they've been mostly trading in tandem.
No way. You were crazy. Why would you go out on a limb that's not even can't even support your weight?
It happened a couple of days last week, and I think tomorrow's going to be another one of those days. It's starting to happen more often. And we're heading towards a time when
I don't agree.
You just don't agree on the time frame, I think.
Yeah. I mean, eventually it's got to happen.
Right. I mean, go 3 years into the future. Are we still going to be an ultra volatile? Because my honest opinion is, if it is, then it will have failed. If Bitcoin is still dropping 30% in 3 days every once in a while and hanging out at 30, 40, 50,000 3 years from now, then it's more likely that it's going to go away, which I don't believe at all. I don't think that's what's going to happen at all. I have much higher expectations than that. But you can see how they can drag this on. It's been a year. It was last April when we hit a new high. And then we did so again in November, and now here we are this March, and we're still sitting here around 40,000. So, they just wasted a year on us, which is also typical in cryptocurrency. But I do think that not the entire cryptocurrency universe. I think Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, maybe a few others are going to move away and start doing their own thing. It's all together, the whole crypto universe is not really even big enough to be considered an asset class yet. It's getting there. It was at 3 trillion, and at that point that was substantial. We're I think a little more than half of that right now, but that's what we got to get to. When cryptocurrencies are $5 trillion or more than that, then they're going to have a life of their own. Right now they just seem to be tied up. I'm going back to the 15-minute chart because I feel like we're dipping. Oh, yeah, see? I mean, this is today. This on the 15-minute chart, you can see just how little activity we had the entire trading day today. That's the top to the bottom right there, so... However, the Bitcoin miners had a great day. So I did a marathon video, and it seems to be controversial because I'm getting a lot of comments. Marathon's in a funny place. They got to do a few things right now. I think they have massive potential, but they got to do a couple of things.
What do you mean? What does that mean? What are they doing?
Well,
did they? How was their whatchamacallit last week? Last month in February. How was
their February update? To me, was a nightmare. But again, that's a short-term thing. So they mined, I think, 360 Bitcoin in February, which was 103 less than they did in January. So That's not good. And, they go into it and they explain what happened and they talk about what their plan is going forward. So I do think they have a plan to get out of this and thrive this year. But they installed and got up and running about 2,000 machines in the month of February. Well, they received 7,000 machines and they were already sitting on 60,000 machines. So that means they have 65,000 machines not plugged in.
Wow.
To put it in perspective, that's double the amount that they do have plugged in. Which means if they had all their infrastructure ready, their hash rate would be at 10 right now or above. So they're behind, but they can catch up. I mean, the good news is they got the machines, they paid for the machines, they're building the infrastructure, so it's all there for them, but those are not good monthly updates, and investors lose confidence. I mean, you can't just month after month keep falling short of what you say you're going to do. That's the biggest difference. Like, Riot keeps doing what they say they're going to do. So every monthly update is just spot on from what they said they were going to do the previous month. So even though I think a year and a half from now, Marathon's going to be substantially bigger than Riot, at the moment, one is very consistent and reliable, and the other one isn't. And then there's Core Scientific, which is bigger than both of them put together at the moment. That will not be true a year from now unless Marathon really does something wrong. Marathon could pass Core Scientific if they get everything right.
You think they could, huh?
They've got purchase orders and deposits down. They already have in their possession almost 100,000 machines, 2/3 of which are not plugged in.
Jeez.
And they have another 100,000 machines coming. So when those
are they putting those in Georgia? Where are they putting them?
They got spots all over the place, including out of the country. So they've got big plans. All their new stuff, they said, is going to be green, and that's
Well, that means they're going to Georgia.
Well,
guaranteed.
That's where the nuclear energy is. So
yeah,
I mean, that's the truest green energy.
Do we talk about Elon Musk on this station and what he said?
Absolutely, and I am going to do a video on it as well, but we can definitely talk about it.
And didn't I talk about it the Friday before? Didn't I say, listen, my problem is this. EV are great, but we got to do nuclear. You can't have all these electric vehicles running around with no electric. That's important, guys. That's the little caveat, is the electric.
Literally called electric vehicles.
And if you don't have electric, it's like gasoline. The car doesn't work.
This is such a hot button issue. Nuclear power is super green. I mean, I think here it's super safe. And we went through, like everything, like every new technology, we went through a period where it was not as safe. But they have backup system after backup system, but then you always get a situation. You know what happened was it somewhere in Asia where they had a tsunami? So
they made a song about that too. It goes tsunami. Sorry.
So I think the simple lesson that you take away from that is you don't build a nuclear power plant where there's tsunamis. You don't build them where there's earthquakes on a regular basis, etc. You know what I mean? Like, a hurricane wouldn't do anything to a power plant. But a tsunami, or an earthquake, a big earthquake, those are problems.
I'm looking at a thing on Marathon right now. I went to their website. It has to be the most basic website. Marathon controls its hash rate, cost of electric, corporate expenses. Marathon does not control price of Bitcoin, price of miners, block rewards, blocks per year, network hash rate. That's what it says. I was insane.
For the beginner, there's some not very good. A couple of these companies have redone their websites and they're a little better. DigiHost, not to call them out, but I guess I just did. They really need to do their website. Their investor relations page is just like, hey, invest with us. There's no... I'm going to go to it because...
Is it really that bad?
I don't want to misrepresent. And I like these guys, by the way, and I have a position in them, so I'm not knocking the company, but this website is totally absurd.
At DigiHost, we're building the backbone of blockchain technology.
So they're talking
in essence,
to me now.
A blockchain
already,
is a
right?
ledger that is impossible to tamper with.
Oh,
This allows all parties involved in an exchange to trust each other
Can you
without
hear
the need
this
for a middleman,
voice that's
such as
talking?
a bank,
No, I
government,
can't. No,
or
you have to
attorney
share with
verify the
the
exchange.
thing, remember?
Just as the internet
all right,
disrupted
well, it doesn't
nearly
matter
every
because he's
industry
not saying
20 years
anything
ago,
important. What I really want to show you
blockchain
is this.
disrupting.
Worldwide, why?
So, investors. So, typically they say investor relations. This is a publicly traded company on the exchange in Toronto, and they listed themselves on the NASDAQ. So, this is not like a random little over-the-counter pink sheet or something like that. This is their investor relations. Why you should invest in DigiHost. And then they have a paragraph. That's it. No financial information, no investor presentation. I mean, pick somebody else. Pick anybody else. Pick another Bitcoin miner. George,
I get to pick one.
You pick a Bitcoin.
I'm gonna pick one that shouldn't be
so
that's
that I'm
roughly
not biased.
the same
You
size.
pick it.
Luxfolio. I've never been to their website.
Well, you're picking one that's even 1/10 the size that DigiHost is. I wanted you to pick an actual, but let's see. Let's see how they're.
It's FOLIO holdings. Okay.
So I cannot vouch for this. I haven't. You can see it's purple. I've been here, but not in a long time. Investor information. So again, this company is less than 1/10 the size of DigiHost. And DigiHost is one of the smaller. So here, I mean, they've got annual and general special meeting, corporate overview, company presentation. So here, corporate presentation updated last, a month ago. This is December, January, February. That's when most of these presentations have been updated. Capital structure, research and coverage, contact. So here's your standard issue. Like this is
hit that little arrow.
Which one?
Hit the arrow to the right, all the way to the right. That one.
Well, that's going to take us through their
yeah, but this is what you do, right? No. I'm just saying the DigiHost. It talks about their company, right? And they don't have. Look at it's already doubled. There's 2 paragraphs.
They don't even have this is the most basic thing you can have is an updated presentation. Like you can hire somebody from Fiverr to make you one of these.
Go another page over. Let's just see it real quick. You can just go through it real quick.
And it's all the same super simple stuff. I mean,
this company is, what'd you say, 1/10 the size market cap?
Yes. So current hash rate of 131 petahash. So you can see they're
not even in the terahash.
No, they're basically 0.13 terahash, but DigiHost is not yet at a terahash. They have purchase orders to get themselves over that. They're at 0.415 terahash right now, and they should be at 2 or 3 by the end of the year. So, these guys are the market cap in this company is usually under $10 million. So they say petahash is expected to increase 179% to 367 by mid-2022. So these are all the things people want to know. I mean, this is simple stuff. Increase capacity by 5x at the end of 2022. Got some charts. You got some graphs. So
they should probably contact the people. Oh, and this is monthly. They're mining 23 a month?
That's
right now?
Let's see. We got, yep.
And then they're going to 55, and then they're going to 82.
So this is their projected This is their projected, this is their hash rate, and then their projected hash rate, and then this is the Bitcoin that they're mining. So yeah.
Wow, that's nice. That's pretty impressive, honestly.
Almost every single one of the Bitcoin miners have a very similar presentation. You know, some are much more elaborate, but they all have to tell you the basic stuff. How many Bitcoin do we hold? What's our hash rate? How many Bitcoin miners have we ordered? And when are we expecting to get them? And
can you go to their capital structure? Down one more.
So they have 74 million shares outstanding, and they're trading at 31 cents. So that's actually makes them a market cap of $25 million, but I don't think that's true. I thought they were smaller than that. Maybe that's Canadian dollars. Let's
oh yeah.
Let's check it out. Yeah, they're 14.5 million US dollars, but let's just pull up the Canadian exchange and see. A little under 20
They're
million.
all the way down to what we bought them for. We bought them at like 19 cents in the beginning. They're down to
They were down way more than this.
Cents. They're down to 24 cents right now. I bought them again at 20.
Oh yeah, I'm on the Canadian exchange. That's
yeah,
why it's Well, probably not. Does anybody out there own this company?
Yes.
I know that you do. I'm asking anybody else who's watching. It's a very small company. I mean, 15 million. It's one of the reasons I don't talk about it on the channel, but I do like this company. However, they are tiny.
Yeah.
But you can see, back to my original point, so you just saw the smallest Bitcoin miner that I know of. You just saw their investor presentation, and then this is what DigiHost has. With the cryptocurrency market reaching into the hundreds of billions and institutional investors slowly coming on board, this is what they're saying. The time has never been better to enter the crypto mining space. I mean, this
well,
sounds
actually,
like
wouldn't it have been better 2 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Was good. NX
time is now.
TLV Tech. And hey, I am proud of Rudy. You must be Peters. You must be a Notre Dame's fan. He named his dog Rudy. Must have watched that episode or that thing. Rudy. Did you see the picture of Bitfarm in Argentina facilities?
I've seen the pictures. I don't remember if I saw the pictures on their website or their press release, but I may not have seen the latest and greatest pictures. So that, I mean, they have big facilities coming up in Argentina. That's going to be a huge presence for them. I'll go to the website and see if I can find what you're talking about. So JJT is asking how much cost such a machine Marathon is sitting on. So each one of those machines is like 10 grand. And they got 65.
No.
Yeah.
No, they didn't buy them for 10 grand.
Okay, let's say they got a discount and they bought them for 7 grand.
No, well, you're right. They're right around, I think there was 6,500 or 7, something like that. I remember seeing
6,500
7 grand
times 65,000. They got a lot of money sitting in the warehouse.
That's insane. That is absolutely incredibly insane.
It's brutal because they could have had, if those were plugged in, they would have had another, let's say, over a 4-month period that maybe cost them 500 to 1,000 Bitcoin that they would have mined if they were on time. So, is that the end of the world? They're going to mine a lot of Bitcoin in their career, but there's no reason to just lose 1,000.
Hang on, I got to take this and answer that question. Are you in CBIT? I don't know what that is.
I am not. I don't know what that is. Let me look. All right, 36 million. So this is another. I don't even have these guys on my list. How about that? I stopped my list, I think, at 20 Bitcoin miners. Operates a Bitcoin mining company in the United States. It develops and operates Bitcoin mining infrastructure. The company was formerly known as Fortress, which you just told us. So what are these guys doing? Are they actually... What would you say they do? Annual letters. I'm just trying to see if they're up and running and mining Bitcoin. Secure 17 in equipment financing. So I don't know. I'll have to dig into this. I will look into this. I mean, these guys are twice as big as Lux is. So, you know, they're small, but they're not the smallest. So I got to add another one to my cap. This says it's an American company, but it's trading on the Toronto Exchange. Let me know if I'm looking at the wrong thing. I mean, there's probably an over-the-counter for this in... Yeah, so you can also, there's a pink sheet in the United States. Okay, so 27 million US dollars, almost 28 million US dollars. So I'll dig into them. They were up today. Everybody was up today, so 10% was good, but that's what was going on. Today was a very good day for the miners. Really, it should have been a better day, but I'm not going to complain because the other day should have been much worse than it was. So they kind of equaled each other out. Awakened Soul is saying, I can't stop buying Fubo. I know, I should be buying more than I am because we're going to look back at Fubo $7. I think they're still under $8 right now. $7.55, even after they were up 6% today. So they got down to $6.21. That's when I bought some options in the 10K portfolio. But at $7.55, see the 52-week range says $35. But if you go into the chart, anybody else own Fubo? I mean, I've done a bunch of videos on these guys. I think they got the right formula over there. I'm going to go to the 1 day because right off the chart. So you can see how much they've dropped just in this short. Here, this is still February. They were up at $11. That's less than a month ago. Oh, let's go 1 month further back. They're at almost $15. I mean, that's a double. Just to get back to where they were 2 months ago. But that's not what I was going to show you because it's actually... So January 27th is no longer within 52 weeks. So it's just outside of that range. But this was at $57, 58 weeks ago. So, and $62 a month before that. So yeah, this was overbought, but this is their range. I feel strongly, and you can see I've kind of got this up and down here. Between 25 and 35, I think, is where Fubo's normal trading range is going to settle into once all this nonsense is over and once they're done pummeling all of these small cap high growth. If you are a small cap high growth stock and you don't make money, you got destroyed in 2021, and just when you thought that was bad, it got worse in 2022 in January and February. JJT saying, I'm doubting if I should change half of Mara into core on the dip or skim all of my miners or sell the smaller ones and just hold core, CleanSpark, and Riot or Marathon. I now have 6 different. Yeah, I mean 6. I got a little more than that, and that's a little hard to manage depending on. But I wouldn't. That's a tough call. That's a very tough call. I don't know how much they're going to get punished for this ending of the lockup period. If they plummet, if they're down 20% or something like that, I'm in because they're already underpriced, in my opinion, right now. Fairly dramatically underpriced, in my opinion. There are people, though. There's a short report out there that, and I will tell you, I pay no mind to short reports, because the vast majority of them get debunked, and they're just people with an agenda. But there is a short report out there that just totally destroys Core Scientific. But I read their financial statements. I read their letter from their auditor. So I don't know what this guy who did a short report knows more than that. I mean, the facts are the facts. Hey, JM, welcome. I did the same thing. JM said, I swung out a core today hoping to rebuy on the dip. I did the same thing with my Core Scientific options today. So we'll see if that pays off. Either way, they were up, so I didn't mind selling them, but if there's a dip, I'll be right back in.
And then that one, you should just leave it, right? Or no?
Well, if I go into the stock tomorrow, if this thing gets back down into the $6 or $5 range, it was at like $5.86, I think, was there. Let's go look at them. Where'd you go? Oh, this is.
So what does the lockup period mean? What does all that mean? I don't know.
This was a SPAC. So they merged with a SPAC to go public. The conversion's already happened, but what happens is,
don't they guarantee $10 or something like that?
In the agreement, once the conversion happens, the guarantee is gone. So now it is what it is. It's now Core Scientific and it's trading. But there's typically, and in this case it was a 180-day period where all of the early investors, they're called PIPE investors, all the people who got in even before it was a SPAC, they're locked up from selling their shares for a period of time, usually 180 days. And that is just to create confidence for the general retail to buy their stock so that they don't think that, the day that it turns into, they're just going to be a mass exodus. So that's 6 months, and that's very typical. But for some reason, they waived 4 months of the 6 months and just said, let's do it next week. And that is now tomorrow. So
now are these the biggest players in the Bitcoin mining world, mining companies?
They're the biggest North American miner right now, today. So everybody has very big plans on paper for the next 15 months. So if everything plays out exactly like it did on paper, they may end up in second or third. But at the moment, they are substantially bigger than Riot and Marathon are somewhere very close to each other, although Marathon can't seem to get their machines running. And the amount that Riot and Marathon mined in February put together was less than the amount that Core Scientific mined. Wow. And in addition to that, they host 7 exahash worth of machines that are mining. So that is an additional source of income that helps them hold their Bitcoin and pay the bills.
I just thought of something for Marathon. You know what it might be? The holes. They don't know what the holes are in the wall. You mean the holes? This was a Seinfeld reference. You mean the holes? Sorry. It's a bad one, but at least Tom got it.
Struggling for that one.
You know what I'm talking about with this when he bought the Frogger?
Oh.
Yeah, and Kramer got the guys to move it. Okay, now you're going to be in charge of the holes in the wall, the holes. I thought that was funny. Yeah, Charlie asks a good question. Why would core execs want to push for an early unlock of warrants if they plan to hold?
Well, here's the funny thing, and that's a great question. The funny part of this is the executives and the board of directors are exempt. They can't sell their shares. So they're not getting unlocked tomorrow. It's all of the PIPE investors that are getting unlocked. So,
Dude, that thing's going to plummet.
But it was the board of directors who voted to do this, and they intentionally left themselves out. I think probably it would have been a very bad look for them to vote that they were allowed to sell their shares early. So they exempted themselves and the executive team. So those guys can't sell their stock tomorrow. It's everybody else that can.
Oh my God. So that means somebody big wanted out.
So I can't.
Somebody big wanted out, and they wanted to get away from this project.
Let's find out tomorrow. I'll tell you.
They need to move money to find funds. Yep.
JM is saying they need to move to the new fund. There's what was that fund called? I already forgot what the SPAC was, but there's a number 2. So the same guys that did this one are doing another one.
For the same company?
We don't know what number 2 is going to be yet. They tell you like it's going to be, they say things like it's going to be something green and good for the environment, or it's going to be in the energy sector, or so.
So like how much money? Just humor me, Tom.
Okay.
How much money did these guys who did this make on this?
I don't know what they bought in at, but honestly, I mean, at $7 right now, although it's way more complicated than that. So it's hard to say. I don't think they're killing it. If everybody dumps at $7, they're probably not, they're not minting money at that.
So you're just saying a couple $100 million?
Yeah. So, I mean, well, yeah, that's not a lot for the...
I know.
When you put money up like that and you get in that early and you're first, you're at high risk. So they want a return on that. So if I was them, I would not. Let me tell you this. I'm not selling my core. I sold my options, but I didn't sell my stock. $7 for this company. They're a $2.3 billion market cap. They mined 1,000 Bitcoin 3 months in a row.
Wow.
That's every month.
1,000 a month?
1,000 a month.
So how much is that in terms of at 42,000 or whatever it is? 42 million?
In revenue.
Yeah, 42 million a month.
That's what most of the other Bitcoin miners are, somewhere in that neighborhood on their quarterly reports. And by the way, they're up to, it's going to be much more than that going forward, because now they're up to 8.6 exahash, and they'll be at least 20 by December 31st. And they're another company who's doing exactly what they said they were going to do.
So what is the valuation right now of Marathon and then Riot?
What's the what?
What's the market cap of Marathon?
I think Marathon's bigger than Core now. Let's go take a look.
Why?
This is what I'm saying.
This is what I'm saying.
Everybody is terrified of tomorrow, which I get, because for all we know, there's going to be a mass exodus and that stock is going to crash. So a lot of people, like I sold my options and I'm sitting on the sidelines. I kept my stock, sold my options. And if it crashes, bam, I'm going to buy right back in. If it doesn't, well, I made money on my options. Marathon is at $2.6 billion and Core
so it could
is
go
at
up tomorrow,
2.3.
I mean, in theory, it could go up.
The stock?
That's crazy to me. Yeah.
I mean, $2.3 billion. They're going to be less than 1 times sales this year. It doesn't make any sense.
So what about Riot? What's Riot at? Is Riot still close to this?
They're under 2. I think they're at like 1.8 maybe.
So Marathon.
Oh, they're 1.96. They were up 11.5% today. So they're just under 2. But all these guys were at, Marathon was at 6.5, or I'm sorry, Riot at its peak was at 6.5 billion, and Marathon was at $7.6 billion back in November. So now for them to be at 2 billion and for Core Scientific to be at 2 billion, I feel like there's nowhere to go but up. This is not financial advice.
So you're thinking tomorrow there's going to be a pullback for a little bit if somebody wants to do the Core 2.
There could be, and that's just one possible thing that they want to do with their money. Who knows? This is the grand question mark. We're going to have the answer to it by the end of the day tomorrow. We're going to see what happened. I would not be surprised to see a sharp downturn at the open and then have them finish green on the day.
Okay.
Because I think there's going to be panic at the open and then we'll see.
So you think it'll get to 650,
Probably.
675? Really? Nice.
I mean, it's been down to, this is why I came here. It was trading, and it just did this. It flashed for a part of one day, but it was at $5.82. I mean,
wow.
That's
well, and I mean, what happens? So this could be a perfect storm if Bitcoin goes down tonight.
Well, if that's right, if Bitcoin goes down and all the miners are going to get driven down anyway, and then there's mass fear around this, and then if there is a mass exodus from this, then this thing could absolutely crash. But I'm buying if it crashes. I'm not saying that I hope it does. I'm just saying if it does, I'm buying.
Peter says these markets are quite shocking. Yeah, they are. I mean, they are low. They're really low. Edward, don't annoy. Short report. Calper's short report.
Culprit. That's the short report, and
they have a long history of being on target.
All I can say is we'll have to wait and see. I can't. I look at the short report, and then I look at it versus. I mean, by the time I've invested in a company, I've read all their SEC filings. I've read their financial statements. I've read every press release they've ever done. So, and if they're lying and something very different than that is happening, but I have to make my own decisions. I can't, right? Because there's so many people saying this is the best stock in the world, and some other people saying it's garbage and it should be thrown in the garbage. So, this guy that wrote that short report, he doesn't like the stock, but
Is there a reason why? I mean, what's the reason he doesn't like it? Did you read it or no?
They have debt. They have they are structured different than a lot of these other companies. And, they're a lot of shadowy, potential improprieties. And you remember Marathon went through this. Oh, they're getting investigated by the SEC, and their stock went down 50% in 3 days. So
I don't think that's over with, by the way.
I don't know. But
well, I mean, if it is, they hasn't released anything at Marathon, by the way. I haven't read anything.
I'm not saying the short report isn't worth reading, and I'm not saying it's not right, because I don't know. I don't know any better than that guy knows, but you gotta go on your own due diligence, in my opinion. Otherwise I'm going to be forever changing my mind on everything that I do. I do swing trade options on a shorter term, but the stocks I hold long term. So I see
heard
the
you're
value.
a swinger. You're a swinger, huh? Yeah, I heard it.
False.
So who's this Aqua? He says, are you guys able to buy Aqua, or is it not in your market there? Aqua. I mean, if you're talking about water, I got it right here. It's just Aqua.
Where are you?
I don't even know what Aqua. Pull up. Let's see what Aqua is. Yeah, well, I guess we can.
$5 billion.
Dude, for water.
Provides water and wastewater treatment systems.
Emergency water
solutions. Is this the one that you're talking about? Who asked us that question?
Tech did. Oh, JM. You know what? They said, I don't know about Compass. I've been on Reddit to read about Compass, and no one really has glowing reviews about them. And the reason I read their whole contract they don't even guarantee you an uptime. There's no guarantee that the miners are even going to be up. That was my problem. I mean, that's crazy. How can you not have how can you be a hosting site and not have some type of guarantee? I mean, right? I mean, that's their job.
That's a tough question. I mean, and the other thing is, when you're mining, there is no guarantee. So, but they can at least guarantee uptime. They can say, listen, we're 99% uptime. They should be able to say that.
And I started reading, and there was some guy, one of the machines broke down, and it took forever to get it repaired. And because, I'm on the fence. I would love to buy mining equipment right now. I am, their costs are high, yeah. I would love that. That's what I've been trying to figure out right now, if I should buy them or not buy them, or
The costs are high, the wait time is long, and now I'm seeing a couple of companies. I think Hive just announced they're going to buy a bunch of Intel's chips and just make their own machines or have them made for them.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about doing that, binding some at home. But I look at that and I like to multiply. And to me, it gets interesting when you can get like 100 machines, and then I can start saying I have 0.007 petahash. Right? I didn't even know there was a petahash. How many would 10 machines be at 104 tera? Was it TH?
It takes 1,000 machines to get to 1 petahash. No, that can't be true. It takes 10,000 machines to get to 1 exahash of the SJ19-100s, and they have higher than 100s now. They have 104s and I think 140s.
Yeah, go Joe.
So Tech is doing this at home, it looks like.
Who is?
NXT.
Oh, is anybody mining? Does anybody mine currently? Any of you guys mine? Do you mind if I ask?
Very good. Let's check in. Hold on. Bitcoin check. 41,900. So it's still sitting. Where'd the market open? I gotta put my line on here. Gotta add a line.
Yeah, one seems silly. I know it does. But I tried to figure out, just get 2 coins. If we think Bitcoin's going to do what it's going to do long term, which I still have not changed my idea of Bitcoin going to $300,000 to $500,000. I still, knowing, we get to live in an area where we're surrounded by like the wealthy people, and I can see that becoming a status symbol that you own a Bitcoin. So I could see it, running past $100,000 real easy.
Well, I'll tell you something. The president's executive order came out today, so I read that, and then
Kiplinger, what did it say?
It's exactly what we expected it to say. They're instructing. I should go to it. Let me go to Kiplinger, which is a most reliable name in finances. Kiplinger Media Company. So for me, I look at these guys. I get their letter, and my dad started getting their letter in like 1950 something. So it's probably all online now, but these guys have been doing this stuff forever. They have an investment letter. They have a tax letter. Where's their... Is it off of their front page already?
Oh, you mean they had something about the...
They had they had an article about it, and come on now. I think I found it on Yahoo. I find stuff on Yahoo.
This is when show prep comes in handy, guys.
That's well, hey, that's what we said. We're a little bit on the fly. Well, to summarize, basically they want to make sure crypto is safe for the investor, and they want to avoid illicit activity. They want to look into a crypto coin for the United States, for the Fed. So they're going to examine that. So it was basically a generic letter that was basically to all departments. We got to research this. This isn't going away. How are we going to handle this? Are we going to have our own? China has their own cryptocurrency. So they're talking about making a United States cryptocurrency. So, which, that would be
XRP, baby. Sorry.
So that was one of the things. And it was nothing scary at all. And I wanted to find that Kiplinger thing because they basically summarized and said, this is the best thing that's ever going to happen to cryptocurrency, because all this uncertainty that's keeping people away is going to be gone once these regulations come in, and they're thinking there's going to be no surprise regulations. It's going to be all the standard issue stuff that makes sense.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Are you doing your interview tomorrow? Or is that today? Or no, that's next week.
It's supposed to be the 15th, and there is questions. So I don't want to say anything, but I'm not sure what's going on over there.
Nice. Wow, that could be awesome. Because the 15th is going to be a major day. I've called the 15th for a long time being a major day. Don't know why it's going to be major, but it's going to be major.
A Georgism.
No, well, I mean, we got the whatchamacallit now happening on the 15th, the meeting with the feds.
Well, yes. And we know with almost certainty what they're going to do.
Dude, I have a garage up in New York.
Hello, Weston.
I should get a miner and put it up in New York so it heats it up. I mean, that would be good money spent because that bill is expensive. I have it on propane. I won't even tell you. It was $3,300 for this month. Oh my God.
So somebody, I just can't remember. JJT has asked, what did XL Fleet do today? So I hold this in the 10K challenge, and they were up a little bit today. They had a huge day yesterday. So it's been a nice run for them.
Where are they going, do you think?
I mean, their 52-week high is $13. I don't think they're going back to that. But these are the kind of stocks that got beat down 80 or 90% that are now at a value compared to just their forget their enterprise value, just their cash, just their net cash. You know, a lot of these companies are trading somewhere at or less than that, or at ratios that are just, look at the PE ratio on this now, and that's almost not fair because their numbers were weird for last year, but that is a ridiculously low number. And this is a very high growth company. And, you know, I may not hold this for 5 years, but I'm going to, you know, this should be a double or a triple before I think about getting rid of it. Look, if you just go back to June, that's more than a triple. Just to get back to where it was in June. So,
well, is it okay if we wrap it up? Because I got to make a couple phone calls.
Oh, yeah, we went a little long today, so. Yes, thank you,
I
everybody.
love talking.
I know, we lose track of time.
I know, it's a good one. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. The trick to heating a house is to run the miners in a hydroponic grow tent. That's funny.
So tomorrow is our regularly scheduled.
No, is today Wednesday or Thursday? Today's Wednesday.
Tomorrow is not our regularly scheduled.
You're gonna try. Let's try to do. So our theory was that we should start to close it out the market. We're gonna try to do like a half an hour to 45 minutes.
Well, and a bunch of interesting stuff is going on tomorrow. So maybe we'll do a market close. Let us know in either the chat here or just in the comments on a video if this time works for you guys.
Do a little thing.
Oh, you want me to do a survey?
A survey, yeah. Pick out the times that are best for people.
Okay.
You know? Perfect.
Thanks, Barry.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks, Barry.
Yeah, thanks all you guys, and thanks for your comments. Thanks for your views and your support. Very much appreciated. And I guess we might live stream tomorrow.
And guys, just so you know, I'm not going to take Tom serious until he gets his subscriber over my subscribership. Then I let him catch up.
So
now I'm going to see.
So if you guys can go out and recruit subscribers for me, I would appreciate it.
See you guys.